It's been a while since I've done a YouTube video. I get pretty busy during the summertime and usually head out to the lake on the weekends, so I don't really have a lot of time to do updates on Facebook and YouTube and stuff like that, but starting to settle down now. So I just went down to pick up a shipment of plants from Florida. So I thought I'd do a little unboxing here just to show you what we got coming in. The particular nursery I get plants from here is they do a lot of anubias and sword plants, so that's sort of what I focus on when I order from this place. So that's pretty much what I got this time. So we got Ocelot Red. This is a sword plant, and you can see obviously it's got a lot of red leaves on it, and then the green ones are the immersed leaves, which will come off. This is a beautiful, beautiful sword plant. This one's called Kleiner Bar. It's another reddish sword, so obviously this is, you can see a little bit of red in there, but still a lot of immersed growth, but it's got good roots. So the next one is Red Reuben, another red sword, long, thin, reddish leaves. You can see this is transitioned already pretty well. Next up we got Ocelot Green. So it's basically the same as the red, except the green variety. These are really, I love the Ocelot swords. They got a nice kind of a spotty pattern to their leaves. They look pretty cool. And the next one up is it's just called Melon. I can't remember what the scientific name of this one is, but it's another sort of a darker brownish sort of a sword, I guess. And I guess you can probably tell all these swords kind of look the same when they arrive to me. They all got the immersed growth, so you can't really tell what they're supposed to look like in this bag, but just thought I'd do a video of it anyway. So this is one of my favorite swords. It's the Oriental sword. It's if you want to see the submerged, what it looks like, it's kind of almost a pinkish color. Really, really beautiful sword. You can see a little bit there too. So this one's starting to transition a little bit. Alright, this is the last of the sword plants that I brought in. It's called a red melon, or ruby melon, or ruby sword. I forget what's the scientific. Echinodorus barthi, I think it's called, possibly. But it's another reddish sword. And I think after I do this one, I'll give a shot of the full sword plant tank for you guys. Sorry, I lied. There's one more sword plant that I brought in, and this is sort of a little bit of a different type of sword plant. This is called Echinodorus vesuvius. It's got very thin, kind of spirally like leaves, and I can tell right away most of this is immersed growth because it's a very, very small sword. But once you plant one of these, once you plant one of these, it'll start growing runners similar to sort of any kind of grass plant that you might have, and they're very tiny. Like they'll just be a couple inches high. So it's a really nice option for a foreground type of plant or whatever. So keep that in mind. But just keep in mind that this is immersed growth, and so you'll see the leaves are kind of brownish and all that kind of stuff. Don't worry about it. Got good roots. It'll start producing side shoots fairly soon. These plants are always grown immersed, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of stores don't carry them, is because it's too confusing for the customers to know how these plants are supposed to grow. But trust me, if you plant one of these, it'll start producing side shoots, and you'll have 3, 4, 5 plants before no time. And It's a little bit more. They're a little bit more expensive than regular sword plants, but if you're looking sort of for a foreground or mid-ground sword plant, this is a really good one. Our sort of sword tank, just a 50-gallon long tank with a hang on the back filter. I've got fluorite as substrate, along with my substrate fertilizer tabs as well. So I just kind of separate them out with these white things. They're just, I don't know what they are. I bought them at the hardware store. There's something to do with roofing or whatever. But anyways, it's a good way to keep track of what plants you have, and it's one of my weak points is I tend to lose track of what plant is what, and so I'm trying to do a better job of that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess we'll go on to the next one now. Next one is I got these pots of dwarf baby tears. I hadn't bought these for a long time because they didn't look very good, but they look pretty good right now. So I've got a tank ready for these. These are sort of the things. This type of plant is best grown if you're going to start off. If this is sort of your plan or the main focus of your tank is going to be the dwarf baby tears, it's best to start it off in an immersed setup, just so that it can establish roots and whatnot. So for these ones, I think I only got 6 portions because I wasn't terribly confident in how they were going to look, but they look absolutely great right now. So I'm going to put these in my immersed setup with aqua soil to get them going, and they should be on my site fairly soon. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the Anubias that I brought in, quite a few different kinds. This is Anubia congensis. I think I brought in mostly in medium-sized ones, so they're pretty good size. Got good rootage to them, and congensis is a very easy. All Anubias are pretty easy, but this one sort of has sort of a medium sort of leaves to it, not really round leaves, but it's kind of cool. So I'm going to strap these to some rocks, and we'll get to the next one after this one. So here's an idea of what these Anubias look like when they're strapped to a rock, in terms of the size and whatnot. I just do this so that I can sort of separate them into portions properly and keep track of them so they're not flying all around the tank. These are just lava rocks from Canadian Tire for barbecues, and just with elastics. So I typically don't ship them this way. I'll just take them off there and ship them as is. I mean, if you have a special request that you want that, let me know. If I can, I'll leave the rock in there. But like I say, it's just a lava rock and a piece of an elastic. That's pretty much it. So it's not rocket science here. But yeah, you typically attach these to rocks or driftwood that you have in your tank. So yeah, this is a nice Anubia, and we'll get on to the next one. Next Anubia on the list is Fraseri. This is not a really common one that you see around too much. It's kind of got a very triangular sort of a leaf to it. So you can sort of see some of the immersed leaves up here, which are a bit more rounder, and then down here you'll see this is what the leaf is actually going to look like in your tank. But yeah, if you're looking for a bit of variety in terms of your Anubias, this is a good one to check out. I'm going to attach these to rocks as well. And here's what a Fraseri looks like attached to a rock. Nice looking Anubia, I'll tell you that. Beautiful. Next up is Anubia avzeli. This is nice. It's a nice smaller type of Anubia, again with a sort of an elongated leaf to it. You can see these are all super healthy, super long leaves, all submerged growth. Looks absolutely beautiful. And Yeah, another nice, if you're an Anubia fan, get this one in your collection because it's great. Here's what the Fraser eye, or sorry, the Afzelli looks like on a rock. Again, it's a nice smaller type of Anubia. Here are the other ones that I've just put onto rocks there. So yeah, if you're an Anubia fan, this is a good one to check out. This one is Anubia hastifolia. It's kind of has sort of a unique leaf shape. It's kind of like an arrowhead. I'll grab one of these and I'll try and find one for you. Okay, there's a good example of what the leaf looks like. It's very sort of square at the bottom, and then it goes up to a triangle. So it's kind of like an arrowhead, sort of a leaf pattern for this sort of Anubia. This is Anubia minima. These sort of are sort of characterized by really dark green leaves and long, thin, not super thin, but sort of thinnish sort of leaves. So this shipment I got in today looks absolutely amazing. This is what one Anubia would look like. On our list is Anubias coffeefolia. So these ones are sort of characterized by their sort of rippled leaves structure. Fairly popular Anubia. I'll get these on some rock. Next up for the Anubias is our Anubia lancetota. These ones typically have very long and thin type leaves. Last of our Anubias is Nana Petite. So just to give you an idea of what one of these looks like, very, very small. And now for the rest of the sort of miscellaneous plants and some crypts that I brought in. This is microsword. This is always pretty much immersed form, so it's quite a bit taller than you would normally sort of see, but it produces and transitions pretty quick to submerged growth. If you're looking for already submerged growth, then probably your best bet is to get the tissue culture variety from Tropica. There's a few crypts that I get from Florida that seem to do these crypts the best. This one is Crypt retrospiralis. So it's got kind of nice, long, thin, and you can sort of see a sort of a wavy pattern on the leaves there. Similar to one of the other ones I brought in, Balance. I'll show you that in a bit. This is Crypt Red, or Crypt Wedity DeWitt, I think it's called. This is the immersed form here, so you're not gonna. This isn't what the plant looks like at all. But once it starts growing submerged, it grows really small and very reddish sort of leaves. So this is a really cool crypt when it's grown, when it's established itself in your aquarium. Here's the other crypt I was talking about, the Balance. Very, very similar to the retrospiralis, but it's got a little bit of a wider leaf on it than the retro does. But other than that, it almost looks the same. This one's kind of hard to find sometimes. It's a Madagascar lace. It's got a nice bulb on it, and just starting to grow out. I haven't carried this one too much, but it's Crypt lutea. So I'll have to do a bit of research on this one to figure out what it looks like and that sort of thing, but looks pretty good.